Ladies and gents, welcome back for some more opening and ending reactions. Today it's Youjo Senki, also known as the Saga of Tanya the Evil. I have just recently started watching the show. It is somewhat of a different type of isekai, not your fantasy type, at least not completely fantasy, not the typical RPG style fantasy that you know, with like knights and mages, goblins, demons, whatever, right? It is more of a World War II with magic type isekai. Something at least I've never seen before. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the episodes, you can find them on Patreon very soon, and they're gonna drop on YouTube sometime later, so... But today we're checking out the openings and endings. Anyways, let's do this. It already sounds quite chaotic, quite intense. Yeah, we got the battlefield, man. Tense face. Many dead. Oh boy. There is something quite demonic about her, isn't there? The way they present her. Her face, the expression here. The way she looks always angry, and also kind of like she looks down on other people, right? Look at this face here. The camera is slightly below her, which makes her look down on you. And she looks down at the puppet, right? Which can also mean that she is sort of a puppet. She sees herself in the puppet. Does the god take control of the puppet, maybe? And that's why she's looking at it. She is, I think, in a church maybe, or something religion related. It would seem like, from the background here. So that makes me curious. It's also quite interesting how distorted the music and also the voice of the singer sounds, which I think reflects quite well her situation, as she used to be male and now she is a woman. So there is a distortion in her sex, first of all, maybe also the gender. I'm not sure if she still sees herself as a male, or maybe she just doesn't give a fuck, you know. And there's also the distortion between her previous life and her current life. They are quite the opposites. It was more of a quiet, peaceful life. She was quite successful. She was, I would say, it seemed like she had a lot of money as well, respect. She was in a good position. And she has that here as well in a way, but she's in a way more difficult position here, because not only does she, not only is she in danger of getting killed in the battlefield, but there's also God who wants to torment her, or at least teach her a lesson, something like that. So there's like enemies all around her. So I do think they kind of capture the feeling of the show quite well here. Goddamn, the previous life dead. I think it was God in the puppet. So aggressive. It's like a fire, a storm in the eyes. And you see the constant fighting in the battlefield in the background here. I think that was also quite interesting here with the, how should I say it, the barricades, whatever. Because they're kinda cutting her way off, right? She doesn't have a way to go besides the one she is being allowed to go, basically. That was definitely a great opening. It fits the series quite well as well. All the distortion, the chaos, the madness. What's also quite interesting are the colors, I think, because they are quite muted in most of the spots there. It's a lot of brown here, right? A lot of dark brown, gray colors. The only time we actually see the character in full color, I think, was when she was facing God, like the puppet, right? Who's supposed to be God. And the only time the sky turned kind of blue and starting to become so bright was in the end. at the very end of the opening, so there might be some hope there. There might be something to work towards too, or there might be a happy end in the end. But at the same time, it kind of vanishes in the end, right? It kind of gets consumed by the darkness. So maybe there won't be a happy end for her. She might be hoping for one, but maybe God won't let her have one. Something like that. But anyways, quite interesting. I love that song. That was a song by Myth and Royd, who are quite famous for many openings. Maybe endings as well, I think. Especially like Overlord, ReZero. It was done by the first singer, who then went off to do her own thing. Not sure what happened to her, if she found any success, but yeah. Time for the ending, guys. I think the ending is being sung by the voice actress for Tanya, right? At least that's what I've heard, but I'm not quite sure yet. Let's do this. Oh boy. Look at this, man. Distortion again. The effect here. You can see the anger here, man. The disdain is like contempt. Which you might have for her fellow soldiers as well. The dead, yeah. Or the failures. Yeah, I think it's the voice actress. It's a cute voice. Military talk. Her eyes are the most insane ones of the... It's his swirls, right? I like that part. It's like a march. March forward, you scum. It's time to fight and die. Oh. What a way to stop. What a point to stop at, man. The picture here is quite curious, isn't it? Because it does seem somewhat sensual. But at the same time, if you don't see her face, it almost looks like the pose you might make when you want to blow your head off, right? So it's kind of a misdirect, maybe. At first you think, what is this? It looks a bit odd, doesn't it? But goddamn. I do like the pictures though. They're quite crazy, quite insane. The effect is here again. I think the German is quite interesting here as well. It's not something you hear that often, or actually you kinda do. Actually you kinda do, right? The Japanese love to use German for some reason. And I do think the German fits here quite well, considering it is more of a World War II setting. But yeah, that song is great. I think I like the song more than the opening. I enjoy the contrast between her cutesy voice, but at the same time, the way she sings is quite aggressive and angry, and it really gives you a feel for the army. Like, it's time to march, it's time to fight, it's time to die, it's time for chaos, it's time for carnage. And I think that's what she sings about as well, right? Lows, 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 go, go, go. She was singing about fire as well, so yeah. Lots of death and destruction here. And the pictures are pretty, but at the same time, her face is always so fucking intense, angry, like a fucking psychopath. More like a sociopath, actually. I think a sociopath fits better here. You can see her disdain and contempt as well a lot here, because she has a lot of contempt for God. Pretty much everything she does or wants is to go against God, for putting her in her situation here. So yeah, fantastic opening, fantastic ending. I hope the second season will be just as good. So, second season opening is also by Myth and Royd. Should be the other singer though. So it's interesting to see the old Myth and Royd versus the new Myth and Royd. Let's see which one does it better. Let's do this. Oh, what the fuck? It's loud. God damn. Interesting. But this again, somewhat of a distortion in voice. The evil council. Lots of death and destruction again. Everything's in ruins. A bunch of characters. At least I think they're new. I have no idea. That's fire. Ooh. Definitely a lot more color here. So many dead. Mountain of corpses. Ah. Yeah, the puppet is back again. God is back again. Oh. The crazy face again. My god, she's getting more intense, maybe. More insane. But that was quite interesting. We didn't stop this time, but Dead is definitely playing around with color a bit more here. But also I think there's a lot more to analyze because there are a lot more... I think there's a lot more symbols here to see. Lots of red here, by the way. Lots of red. But at the same time, the rest is pretty much black and white. But I think we're gonna see here a lot more death as well, because she was literally standing on a mountain of corpses while watching the red sky. Which of course is quite ominous. And there's also God coming back. We have seen some pictures of a broken church. So she might be putting a fast one on God, perhaps? Hopefully. This God's a break, right? Fuck him. What's also interesting, as it would seem like, is that the other armies seems to have improved their technology as well, their flying technology. Because the first guys we have seen were like flying some sort of horses, like metal horses, which didn't seem that good, that efficient. So it might be a more difficult battle this time, for Tanya at least. It might be a bit more difficult to dominate the skies this time. But yeah, the song is quite cool. It's quite intense again. The distortion in the voice is back again. Not as extreme, maybe. They certainly have a bigger emphasis here on the bass, I think. Maybe the drums as well. Which one is better? I'm not quite sure yet. I think you have to listen to them a couple more times to decide. I like both of them at least for their own unique points here. Their unique feelings. I think the first song is a bit more on the chaotic side and the second one is a bit more on the intense side. But interesting nonetheless. Anyway, it's time for the ending number 2, which is Weiter, Weiter. Es geht immer weiter. Weiter means continue, by the way, in German. Let's do this. Oh. Interesting. What the fuck? That's completely different. And once again, lots of destruction here. Interesting, very interesting. That's a switch. Flowers. There's some color here. What the fuck? Whoop, whoop. Oh my god. Oh boy. Wow. Holy shit, man. That was something. That was quite something, guys. Quite the unexpected song and ending. Like, song-wise, completely blown away. Like, I did not think we would have this sort of ending at all. It is way, way different than the rest of them, right? I do think I prefer the first ending song. I just like the energy, the intenseness behind it. This one here is a completely different feeling. Visually wise, it's also quite interesting. We are working slowly through a ruined city. I think a city that we have been destroying. And Tanya certainly enjoys it, right? But at the same time, there's a moment of peace there. We're just chilling on a destroyed tank, watching the sunrise, surrounded by flowers. It's all quite pretty and nice. But then the darkness comes back, the craziness comes back, because God takes us back. God doesn't want us to relax, He doesn't want us to have fun, or have a good time. He wants us back into the battlefield, He wants us to fight, and maybe die. And to survive, we have to embrace the craziness here. We have to be completely batshit insane. Because the battlefield is insane, fighting is insane, the war is completely fucking stupid and insane. There is no other way to survive this and to dominate the battlefield. You have to be a monster. And that's exactly what she's becoming. Or what she has become. That is simply a necessary step. And I think you can kind of say it is the fault of God here. He kind of orchestrated all of this. He is, I would say, a piece of shit who likes to enjoy the torment of other people because he's too petty and he doesn't want other people to have any bad feelings towards him, or especially be dismissive or contemptuous. Like, the sole reason he does all of this is because his pride was hurt, which is actually quite human, isn't it? But yeah, we have certainly quite great songs here, great openings and endings both. I would say musically wise, the first ending's my favorite here. Again, I really like the energy here, the intenseness, the emotions, all of it. And visually wise, I would say the second opening. That's what I like the most. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what your favorite song is. What other openings and endings would you like for me to watch and react to? Let me know in the comments. That's it from me. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.